All right, we're here with Preston Perks of S&S Sansei, and this year has been quite a year for your company. You've had two major installations open in the United States. And first of all, let's talk about Steel Curtain and how big of a hit that was.
Yeah, I mean, it was a huge hit. Last year we were able to unveil the vehicle here at IAAPA and collaborate with Kennywood to, theme the ride after the Pittsburgh Steelers. The ride itself was just amazing for us. It was the longest coaster we've done at 4,000 feet of track. We've got 9 inversions on that, which breaks the North American record and the highest inversion of the world on that ride. So, you talk about records, that was a record-breaking coaster in so many aspects. And it won, Best New Ride of the Year with the Golden Ticket Award. So for us, huge ride, hugely successful, a super great ride, and it was so fun to collaborate with Kennywood on that project.
Yeah, and another major installation that I actually got a chance to ride this year was Max Force at Six Flags Great America. That was the first air launch coaster to come to the United States in quite some time. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, that was a big thing for us, is having the opportunity to collaborate with Six Flags. We've worked with them for many years now, and for them to want to have this air launch coaster was so exciting for us. We haven't had an air launch coaster that we've installed domestically for some time. We've got quite a few we've done in China, but not everyone gets the opportunity to go over there. So putting this coaster in, breaking the acceleration record in the United States, and bringing everyone the opportunity to be able to ride that coaster or something else. How did you think about the launch?
I loved it. It was insane. Like, all of a sudden, you're just sitting there, and then boom, like, just boom. That's how I describe it, boom.
Yeah, I mean, my best explanation is like getting shot out of a gun. I mean, that's really what it's like. The acceleration on that is so fast. Track is so smooth. And the transition there, a lot of people wondered, going into that fastest inversion in the world, that thing is going so smooth and so fast, it doesn't really even feel like an inversion.
Yes, and for a layout that fits in such a small footprint, you managed to fit 5 inversions into it, which is just crazy. So how did that layout come into fruition, and how much of a challenge was it to fit in so many inversions into it?
When you're going that fast, it's a little bit of a challenge. You have a limited amount of space, limited amount of track that the customer is able to work with. So I know people say the ride is short, but you're going so fast. That's what it is. So your experience is the air launch there, and getting the 5 inversions is something that, we had to try and work with all the space we had available in such a short piece of track.
Exactly. I like to describe it like a white chocolate raspberry cupcake. It's short but sweet and very memorable. Awesome.
Yeah.
And so anyway, what you have over there, you have a new animation over there for your Axis coaster. It's pretty much the talk of the town, so to say. Everybody's buzzing about it. It's like the new hottest thing in the industry. So tell us a little bit about the Axis model and how it came to fruition.
Yeah, we don't have much of a social media presence, and people said, hey, you guys broke the internet with that one. And I don't think we broke the internet, but for us, there is a ton of buzz about that product. It's like nothing else out there, and you can say that about a lot of other coasters, but truly this coaster does things that no other coasters can do. We built a prototype. We just finished that up here in October this year, able to run the ride, prove the concept, feel what it's like, which is amazing. Feels like you're flying is the biggest thing that people say, and then give the customers opportunity to go and ride it. So with that, yeah, we've released this new layout. It's 2,000-foot layout to show off what are some of the things that it can do, because that coaster vehicle, it traverses the coaster like no other ride, and it has elements and layouts that don't exist. We're not the best at naming elements, but we've said, these 9 elements, here's the names for them. You can be creative and maybe come up with other names for them, but those elements are new, unique, and they've never been on any other coaster before.
Yeah, and so I was just looking at it, and I saw that you used an air launch for your prototype. Now, do you plan on offering it with either an air launch or maybe a lift hill?
Like I've said before on that one, is the lift hill is an experience in itself with that ride. With the Axis coaster, you can go up sort of on your back in the inverted position, and once you get to the top and go over the top like in that layout, your vehicle swings down and then you're on top of the track. So I think a lift is part of the experience on this more than any other lift, because what the vehicle does. But we have the capability to do air launch, LSM, or a lift system, whatever fits in with the customer needs. If someone needs to stay low and not go too high and they want the speed, launching the ride is great. We'd love to do it. The vehicle can handle it. But lift is part of that experience on this one.
And honestly, when I look at the vehicle, I think of the masterful magic of engineering. That's the first phrase that comes into my head. Now, that vehicle, how long did it take to craft that? How long was this project in development before you finally got a working prototype?
Yeah, so that one was about 3 years from conceptual, what one of our employees came up with as far as a concept, to what you see today as far as the prototype. So it takes a lot of time, especially with this particular ride. There's a lot of things, trade secrets we really had to come up with figuring out exactly what that vehicle would do, because you can't plug that into a normal coaster model. As I said, we'd had to figure out how that thing works, and we really validated that and knocked it out of the park. Our team did, with doing exactly what we anticipated it doing. Like, you had your analogy of what it is. It's coaster dynamics reinvented for me. It's like nothing else that's out there in the methodology you used to get there.
Yeah, it looks like something on a whole nother level. So, in short summary, how would you say that the mechanism works? How would you say that it manages to turn guests perpendicular to the track?
It's all about the speed and the change in the track. It's not about the weight of the vehicle. People think, it's weight. Weight might impact the bench a little bit in the degree, but it's all about how fast it's going and how fast we change direction. And that is what induces and impacts how that vehicle goes along the track.
Yeah, and I think it's needless to say that when we eventually see an Axis coaster, it's going to be really something to behold. So thank you so much for your time. This was an amazing interview. Stay tuned for more on Theme Park Crazy. And yeah, here's to the Axis coaster.
Yeah, excited for it, and hopefully something comes out soon on that.
Totally, yeah. Thank you all so much. And if you want to support me on Patreon, you can find a link in the description.